series and we don't get points, you know. And I mean, in a tight game against a Ricky Ray-led team, I mean, you've got to score points right there, and that was a little bit frustrating. And then we come back and we keep Ricky. We keep Ricky on the field with a, you know, we weren't even close to getting the block, and we run into the kicker, and we can't do that kind of thing because that gives Ricky an extra possession. They scored a touchdown there, so you're talking about a 9 or 10 point swing right there just in basically mistakes. So, I mean, we've got to do a better job. Thought second half came back out and executed a little bit better. We gave Ricky a couple different things to look at, and offensively we did a real nice job of continuing to control the football, and should have scored maybe a couple more touchdowns, but we'll take the field goals, and then we did what we had to do there at the end to finish the game.
What's going to happen with this Brandon Bridge play well enough to get the start against?
You know what? I mean, that's.
I know that's again, asking you early, but
yeah, you know what? I mean, in professional baseball, when somebody's not, you know, if somebody has a little bit of slow time during an inning, what do? They bring in the guy that and give him, you know, call in relief. And that's all we did. I mean, he wasn't feeling it tonight, wasn't seeing it. I didn't feel like, and they were getting to him. We got to protect him. We've talked about it before. If they're getting to him early in the ball game, that you know, that's not his cup of tea. And he's a great leader, and he will still be our starting quarterback. And we just have to move on to the next game. Now, y'all can all debate about that all you want to, but that's what it's going to be.
But what's Brandon Bridges?
Brandon played real well. Just got the game on. You know, but next week is next week. We've got a very good team coming in and we need to play well at home.
Pulled out 2 come from behind wins. A number. What's going on with that? Is that
just pulled off 2?
The coaching, the preparation of players. What happens when you can pull out these kind of heart-stopping wins?
Well, I mean, you're talking about 2 very good football teams. Again, like I told y'all the other day, and people look at me like I was crazy. Hamilton's a good football team, right? They've gone to BC and won, and they've gone now over to Winnipeg and won. They're a good football team, and we went to their place and we pulled out a tight win. Same thing with Ottawa, who happened to win the Grey Cup last year, and the number 1 team in the East, which is Toronto. They are all of them are very well coached. They've got really good players, and we're very fortunate to come over here and play just good enough to come out with a win.
Chris, how important was Brandon's mobility once he got in the game and he was able to get away from that rush?
Well, you know, I mean, that's what Brandon has, is the ability to extend plays, and when you have to cover. When you only have to cover for 2.5 seconds, 2.7 seconds, then it's a little easier to scheme up things coverage-wise. But when that play extends to 4, 5, and 6 seconds, then all of a sudden your DBs have to be even better. We know that from experience, right? When we let them out of the pocket like we did over in BC, you know, their quarterback was able to break contain 11 times, and they scored points on those drives. So we've got to do a great job of keeping their guy in contain, and then when they send us pressure, Brandon's in the game. He's got to move around enough. Now, I don't want him out there just scrambling to run. I want him scrambling with his eyes downfield to throw the football.
You brought Keenan LaFrance towards the end of the game to ice it. Is that just because he has the experience? Or
yeah, you know what? Keenan's a good back. I mean, he's on our football team for a reason. If you remember the Edmonton game last year in the playoffs, he was one of the big reasons that Ottawa won that game against Edmonton in the snow. He's a very good back. He's got experience, and when we needed in that last drive, I felt like you know, the experience overwon.
So it's like a challenge to him because he wants the job. Even if you brought Richardson in, you had all these guys in to fill in the tailback, and he stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got a lot of players. You know, just like on defense, we rotate a lot of guys. So, you know, that's everybody's, you know, y'all's job to maybe speculate this, that, and the other, what the pecking order is or the depth chart. But we've got good guys that are in personnel groupings, both offensively and defensively, and we feel very strong that they're good enough to win football.
Thanks, Coach. We'll open the room here.
All right.
Ryan's close.